When Jesus is saying, look at the hills, they're ripe for harvest. You think it's still 4 months out, but it's right now. He is pointing to the hills of Samaria. Like I can picture the scene is they're out in the desert, out on this well, and Jesus is pointing out at the very town that they just came from. They went into the town to find some food. They're trying not to make eye contact. They're like, we got to get out of Samaria as soon as possible. They bring back a bag full of sandwiches. And Jesus is looking out, and there in the distance, just materializing, is the entire town coming to meet Jesus because of the words of that woman. She goes into town, and she starts telling her story. It's a very simple story. She's not a theologian. She doesn't know how to link what she's saying to the Bible. She doesn't know much of anything except, I met this man and he changed everything. I wonder if he could change you too. Come and meet this man who told me everything I've ever done. And all she has is her simple, beautiful story. And it was just enough that the entire town starts to exit the town to go meet Jesus. Like the very vendors that the disciples were just buying some food from have now left their booth and are walking out in the desert to find Jesus. And so Jesus is sitting with his disciples. I feel like with a lot of love and maybe some a smile, he's saying, guys, you completely missed it. Do you like I sent you to harvest that which you did not sow? You didn't plant those seeds, but this town was so ready to meet Jesus that the simple story from this one woman brought them all out to him. The very woman that they ostracized, that they made fun of, that they talked behind her back, and it was her story that was enough to pique their curiosity because they wanted to go find Jesus. Like Jesus, like, guys, you totally missed it. You went to the exact same town. You brought back a bag of sandwiches, and she brought back an entire town of people hungry for Jesus. So verse 39, to finish out this story, many Samaritans came from that city, believing in him because of the woman's testimony. He told me everything I've ever done. So when the Samaritans came to him, they asked him to stay with them, and he stayed there 2 days. Many more believed because of his word, and they said to the woman, it is no longer because of what you said that we believe, for we have heard for ourselves, and we know that this truly is the Savior of the world. That last line, I think, is maybe the most important reflection of this story for me. There's so much in this passage that teaches me what is evangelism? How do I share this good news? What is my role? And right there at the end, where the town says, we no longer believe because of what you said, because we've now met him for ourselves, and we know that he is the Savior. That's the goal of every moment that we have to share about this good news of Jesus should be that goal. It's not about me. It's not about me with some eloquence and I answer all the hard questions and I prove that I'm an expert in everything. It's me telling my story, say, this guy Jesus has changed my life. I think he can change your life too. And then they get to the experience of actually meeting Jesus. And they say, oh, we were curious because of your story, but now we met him for ourselves and we know that he is the Savior of the world. That's the trajectory of all of us.